Greetings and welcome to what I believe is now the 22nd episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters, where we take a look at a variety of cottages, manors and houses around the Imperial Province, as we try and find your dream home in Cyrodiil. This time around we have a bit of a Shivering Isles theme, looking at 3 housing mods in the realm of Shilgorath on both sides of the Madness Divide. As always, download links for all the mods shown can be found in the video description below. So let's get started with our popular house mod of the week, which this time around is Arfien's The Retreat, a Shivering Isles home by Arfien. Now this is a fairly simple and straightforward home in the Shivering Isles, located pretty close to Suicide Hill. And exterior wise, this is a pretty much a typical Dementia style house with a small walled garden and a scenic overlook of the surrounding areas. It's right on top of a hill, so you do get some nice views of the nearby swamps. And there's even an upper level balcony with a table and chairs where you can sip a drink in the evenings or, what have you. You can see this home on the map here, and of course it comes with a map marker, and it's a bit of a walk to get to the nearest city of New Shioth with a modest commute overall. And going inside, the entire house is composed of just this one sort of medium-sized room, and it's certainly not a massive home by any stretch of the imagination. It comes jam-packed with pretty much everything you'd expect from a player home, but all stuffed into this one chamber, such as an alchemy lab, study area with bookshelves, storage for tossing your possessions in, a kitchen and dining area, as well as a master bed for you to sleep in. The home is already pre-decorated, so it's pretty much ready to be moved into right away. Just don't expect a lot of space. This is, really a home for players who like smaller lodgings. And overall, the retreat is a cozy and small player home that's nicely finished and decorated, and comes with a variety of features, such as a map marker, alchemy lab, and some really nice views of the area. It is, very small though, perfectly suited for those who have newly arrived in the Shivering Isles and just need a place to crash. And moving on, we have our new house mod of the week, which this time around is Emean Retreat, a peaceful Shivering Isles home by Demon Lord 7684. And now with this home, you'll need to purchase it first from the general goods store on the Mania side of New Shioth, and I'll set you back a fair amount, about 9,000 gold for the estate, and an additional 2,000 gold for pets and guards to protect the property from, wildlife and things like that. And you can see the estate here, and it's basically off on its own little island along the coast of the Emean Sea on the Mania side of the Divide. And it's a really beautiful home, to be sure, with a rather well-detailed exterior that includes gardens, statues, scenic vistas over the sea, and, this place is especially scenic in the evening hours, with several great places to just stop and watch the sunset. And the main manor house here is essentially divided into 2 parts, with an archway in between where you can access a small set of docks. And with the guards package, the property comes fully stacked with quite a few golden saints that should keep, any hostile wildlife at bay. But anyway, this is a really magical looking property. And I think this is the first house mod that Demon Lord's released. He's done a few really great dungeon mods for Oblivion, and he's really done a great job building a scenic estate here. And, just taking a quick look at the map here, you can see that this home is off in the northernmost portion of the Mania Divide, pretty far away from New Shioth, but within walking distance of the small village of Hale. And going inside, the main manor house is again divided into 2 sections, of a study and library on one side, which includes this interesting looking servant in here. There's also a crafting bench with a forge and one of those curious, order crystals, an alchemy lab up the stairs a bit. And this house does have a rather interesting design that's kind of cramped, but really nicely detailed with platforms that allow you to look over each room. There's also access to an outdoor balcony up here, and a very small display hall with pedestals and display cabinets for you to use. And on the other side of the house, you'll find a small lounge, kitchen, and dining area with a small pet to keep you company. There's also a display cabinet or 2 in here as well, but otherwise, much like the rest of the house, this is already pre-decorated. And up on the top floor, you'll find the master bedroom, which isn't too large, just a bed, table, and a couple of dressers for you to store your stuff in, though it's certainly quite nice looking, I have to say. Now, that isn't everything here. This home also comes with a rather scenic set of cabins, located below your new abode, with this large central chamber here that has a lovely, pond and gardens with a fountain right in the middle, and platforms overlooking everything. It's just a really, beautiful chamber, and the perfect place to go to relax after you've been out adventuring in the Shivering Isles. And overall, Emean Retreat is a fantastically scenic little abode on the Mania side of the divide, with some truly lovely views and nicely detailed chambers. It does come with a number of features, such as an alchemy lab, guards, pets, a display hall, and of course a map marker. And a total cost of about 11,000 gold. It's fairly affordable, if a bit isolated with a long commute. I'd definitely recommend giving it a try if you're looking for something in the Shivering Isles. Finally, we have our underrated house mod of the week, and this week we have a Lost Inn by Side777. And this one adds a gloomy and sort of abandoned looking inn along the road to New Sheoth on the Dementia side of the divide. And I have to say, it is a bit creepy and ominous at first when you approach it, which was a deliberate choice by the mod author. It's a rather large building with only one main entrance, a set of docks, as well as some upper level balconies, some of which you can use to see the towers of New Sheoth over in the distance there. And when you first go inside, you'll find that this abandoned tavern is quite naturally very dark, and you'll have to manually go around and light up various light sources by casting fire spells at them, or alternatively turn them off by casting frost spells. And anyway, once the interior is lit up a bit, you can see that this is a fairly sizable home with a modest size entry hall on the second floor, and right nearby is the main library and study. And you'll have to forgive the blood-stains and decomposing body parts and corpses everywhere. That's just part of the charm of this classic abode. Aside from the rot and decay, this is a really nicely finished home with some really great bones. And I mean that quite literally, there's bones everywhere in here. But moving on, you'll also find a master bedroom with some rather intimidating statue work to watch over you while you sleep. And hopefully you don't mind a few bloodstains on the sheets here. There's also a cozy little bathtub and makeup mirror, and you can even take a bath in here if you want, so long as you don't mind sharing the waters with the deceased previous owner, of course. Now, like any proper inn or tavern, you'll find a torture room, where you can torture your guests for endless fun and mirth. This includes a curious device that you can use to submerge caged visitors into a molten pool of lava. After all, who doesn't like a good lava dunking now and then? Now, there's also a downstairs area, which is a bit more, well, dark and messy, with lots of clutter and corpses left behind by the previous owners. And this place does kind of feel like a dungeon a bit. Definitely very damp to be sure. Anyway, you'll find the kitchen and dining room down here. There's not very many chairs, and there's mushrooms growing on the kitchen counters, but minor details. There's also a large lounge down here, where you can sit and read a book in these damp conditions, as well as a guest bed, and there's actually 2 guest beds in total, so you can have a couple of companions living with you if you want. And overall, this is definitely a fixer-upper, and might be a good home for those who are more, I would say, chaos-aligned, or, practitioners of the dark arts. And while this tavern has seen better days, it certainly has a lot of nice features and a decently scenic exterior, including a torture room, map market, kitchen, companion beds, and a sizable library and study area. It also comes with lights that you can turn on and off, which is a nice touch. And overall, this is just a really cool home for those looking for a more, I would say, unique residence in the Shivering Isles. And anyway, that's all we have for this episode, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.